Don't look now, but Roman Reigns and the Bloodline are about to ruin another WWE friendship. Yes, the long-running theme that has seemingly been the case since Roman Reigns returned after his hiatus after losing the WWE Undisputed title to Cody Rhodes at WrestleMania 40. The downfall has begun for perhaps several WWE superstars, and one more is going to be added to the list here soon enough. Before we get into that, but make sure to follow all the content here. Hit that subscribe button. Lots of WWE content daily here at Wrestling Reaction and on the road to Saturday night's main event, the Royal Rumble, Elimination Chamber, and the big one, the granddaddy of them all, the WrestleMania 41 Night 1 and Night 2 event in Las Vegas next April. But for now, let's talk about another friendship that's going to be ruined, and you hate to see it because WWE is all about friendship and all about complications with those friendships. You look at all the different factions, seemingly, in WWE and NXT even, to an extent. There's always some sort of dynamic with the, interpersonal relationships, is the phrase we like to use here, when it comes to these different tag teams, these different factions, and all of that. But friendship goes a long way, and some people have been friends longer than others. Two people we know that have been friends as long as anyone in WWE. That is Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. And we know, based on the interview that Kevin Owens had with Michael Cole on this week's edition of SmackDown, that Kevin Owens will get to the Sami Zayn issue at some point in the future. For now, though, he's focused on one thing, and that is trying to take down Cody Rhodes for being a bad friend, but also to take down Cody Rhodes to win the WWE Undisputed title. And during that sit-down interview in Kevin Owens' rental car with Michael Cole in the parking lot, it was Owens who addressed his future and what he thought of everyone else who had sort of surrounded themselves with Roman Reigns, as Cody Rhodes did a month or so ago at Bad Blood, 2 months ago now, at Bad Blood, teaming up with Roman Reigns to defeat Jacob Fatu and Solo Sikoa in that match. But we know that everyone else kind of came on board with Jey Uso getting back into the swing of things, and with the original Bloodline, Jimmy Uso doing the same thing. CM Punk teamed up with Roman Reigns, and all the different possibilities that is going to present in the near future. But it is Sami Zayn who is going to be the one that will be the focus for Kevin Owens once he finishes his business with Cody Rhodes, because, well, they are the biggest of friends. And remember, these two friends were part of a really huge, monumental match at WrestleMania 39 when they teamed up to defeat the Usos to win the WWE Tag Team Championships then. And you thought, all right, that could begin the downfall for the Bloodline. It didn't happen on the next night when it was Roman Reigns who defeated Cody Rhodes before losing to him a year later. We know, too, that Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn have had a bit of an interesting history. And we know one of the themes that has been brought up recently in WWE storylines is how Kevin Owens turns on all of his friends, right? That was kind of the lead up into that first match with Owens and Cody, and we know things have escalated from there after you had the parking lot attack, and then Owens taking it to another level after that, by taking out Randy Orton and all of this, which we know is going to eventually culminate in a Cody Rhodes and Randy Orton feud at some point, probably in the near future. Perhaps that is going to be a WrestleMania 41 match if we don't have The Rock involved, which, once again, reports have said he will not be involved, but I keep saying the same thing. Until I don't see The Rock at WrestleMania 41, well, I'm not going to believe it just yet. But with Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn, because it is something where we've seen the level that Kevin Owens will take it to with people who are associating themselves with Roman Reigns. Because as Owens continues to bring up, right, it is Roman Reigns and the Bloodline who tried to end his career the same way they've tried to end the career of multiple other superstars, including Cody Rhodes, including Randy Orton, and so forth. And so, when Owens says he will cross that bridge when he gets there with Sami Zayn, I don't think it's going to be a pretty sight. And we know things have changed dramatically in terms of where they were a couple years ago when they were teaming up to win those WWE Tag Team titles in a great main event on WrestleMania 39 Night 1. They've come a long way from their singles match several years ago at WrestleMania 37 when you had Kevin Owens defeat conspiracy theorist Sami Zayn at the time. And now this could be the one match that these two have been waiting for their entire career. Yes, that was a big one at WrestleMania 37 to have your first WrestleMania match against each other in that, the type of setting, something you've been dreaming of your entire life, to get to a WrestleMania match with each other. This one will be completely different because this has a chance to be way bigger than that singles match was at WrestleMania 37. This could be yet another significant WrestleMania match for these two because of everything that could come out of it. And the thing is, we brought up this past week on Raw, when you had these sort of interesting group now of having Drew McIntyre return, Sami Zayn is there, Seth Rollins, CM Punk, Jey Uso. You keep going down the line, and of course the one thing they all have in common is they have history with Roman Reigns and the Bloodline. And so we see now, when you talk about why is this Bloodline story so fascinating, and why does it continue to be this monster that it is, and for some people, why does WWE keep this thing going and not shut this thing down, perhaps when there was a lull and those kind of things? It's because you see, when booked effectively, this thing can have an impact and sort of dish out consequences for the entire roster. It's not something that just sits alone by itself in one segment on the show. And that, to me, in this era of wrestling, is always something that I can't stand, is when you see something like this happen and it's just contained to one part, and then you go to the next segment and it's like, well, this was of no importance. You want everything to sort of exist within its own world. And so you can't just have the Bloodline, have all these issues, right, in the past with Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn and Cody Rhodes and Randy Orton. And then when these particular people make decisions in the future, it has to still somehow tie into the past. And I think that is what Triple H is so good at. Everyone can't ignore what's happening on the other parts of the show, right? Or you can't ignore the history that someone has with these particular people. And I think that's why you're seeing it's not just the Bloodline story that keeps going. It's all of the stories that the Bloodline have impacted over these past 4 years that continue to make other things even better, which is exactly what this is going to be. When Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn have a feud leading into a WrestleMania 41 match, I can't imagine there is any other circumstance right now or any other possibility for these two leading into next year's show in Las Vegas. It has to be Kevin Owens versus Sami Zayn, because this is the time now. After Owens perhaps comes up short against Cody Rhodes at Saturday night's main event, perhaps we get something from Randy Orton there that's going to tie him to Cody Rhodes on the road to WrestleMania 41. Maybe they do it at the Rumble. Maybe you get that out of the way first. And then again, Cody may have other plans with Roman Reigns, The Rock, potentially. We'll find out, depending on what The Rock decides to do. That's what it's all going to come down to. But Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn, this is the match, again, that I think is going to be completely different than the one they had 4 years ago at WrestleMania 37. This one is going to be much more personal in terms of everything that's led to this point. We keep saying Kevin Owens says things that you look at and say he's right. And Sami Zayn has now decided to come back around and team with Roman Reigns, the person who he hit in the back with the chair while Kevin Owens was handcuffed, sitting there watching him. Think about the visual, right? You see it. Think about the visual and the impact that had on everyone in the ring that night at the Royal Rumble in 2023. And now, Sami Zayn, in Kevin Owens' eyes, has committed the ultimate sin. And that is going back and teaming with Roman Reigns, forgiving Roman Reigns, while Kevin Owens has never forgiven Roman Reigns for what he did to him and what he tried to do to him. And that is going to be your story, leading into what should be another masterful program for Kevin Owens heading into next year. And we'll see what magic these two friends can put together, and I can guarantee you it's going to be worth a watch. With Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn, I'll predict it right now, WrestleMania 41, I think it is on between these two friends, and perhaps soon enough, former friends, heading into that show. But you guys let me know what you think about what's going to happen with Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. When is Kevin Owens going to snap on Sami Zayn? He's teased it a little bit on SmackDown, saying he'll get to it at some point. But how do you see this playing out with Kevin Owens over the next month or so? The match with Cody Rhodes, return of Randy Orton. What's going to happen with Sami Zayn in the meantime? We saw him connected to Drew McIntyre in his return. Is that going to be Sami's role for now until Owens gets to him? How's it all going to play out? You guys let me know your thoughts in the comments. Again, hit that subscribe button. Hit the like button on your way out. Let me know your thoughts on the Roman Reigns and the Bloodline. Once again, ruining a friendship, perhaps, between Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn.